Good try anyway. It was very good.
Yo,
Never mind.
yo, we're back live. Mike can tell you what's going on because technically she's fucked it up. Thanks for joining. Right, now you can go.
Don't play. Look, this is Captain Dan Pace's fault. That was a false count. Come on, that was a false count. There'll be a flag on the play for that false start. Anyway, welcome back to Vaybaba D&D. Sorry we're late. A few technical issues. We managed to resolve those now. So we're going to go jump straight into the recap for what happened in episode 1. So the party, after erupting out of the Bifrost and landing back in the material plane, all suffered being knocked unconscious from the impact. 3 of the 4 party members experienced a dreamlike state where they awoke on a beach, meeting someone claiming to be Malnoris. After that, they awoke to discover that HK, their Warforged companion, was unfortunately also knocked out, but he hadn't experienced the same dream state. He experienced his own thing where he seemed to be floating through time and space in the void, where he was finally he encountered a being who told him he must meet his creator. After which he woke up along with the others, and they took in their surroundings. They quickly discovered that there was a large bird called a roc that swooped in overhead as our warlock set his companion into the air to try and establish where they were. It swooped in and killed it instantly. They struggled to get to higher ground so they could sort of take in where they were and what they might go to next, or where they may go next, sorry. At the top of the hill or higher ground there, they found a good vantage point, which was being overwatched by a stone golem. Stood on top of a round capstone that had strange inscriptions. They managed to discover were the ancient dwarven language of Dethek. Anyway, taking in their surroundings, they discovered a couple of settlements, but they headed towards the largest port town that they could see off to the east, and they headed that way. They arrived there late in the evening, took refuge in a local pub where they met a landlord who didn't even know what water was. And they took in food and drink and then slept that night to emerge into the town the next morning looking for answers. They quickly established they needed some supplies, and they went to the town market, where after meeting some colourful characters they finally ended up at a store selling magic items. And from there they spent quite a lot of money, in fact, buying different bits and bobs. They've got some messenger rings, so they can now talk to using telepathy. And Logan also partook in a gamble, really, paying 5 gold to delve into the deck of many things. And I'm going to talk to you quickly about that because we're going to do a retcon on that. I used an official generator to draw a random card for him. Unfortunately, I discovered later it was actually for an older edition. So using the Dungeon Master's Guide, it's actually been changed now to this. It's the same card, it's still flames, but the wording's different. So whereas before we had a random person trying to kill him for X amount of days, this is now a powerful devil becomes your enemy. The devil seeks your ruin and plagues your life, savoring or suffering before attempting to slay you. This enmity lasts until either you or the devil dies. So that is the retcon on that. I can't think there's anything else you need to know, really. I think that was everything. So yes, it is somewhere in the mid-morning. The party are in the market square. Just a decision for you all to make, really. Ben's character Mugnef wanted to head off to the blacksmith to purchase a couple bundles of arrows. Now, you've got a choice. We can either spend a little bit of time, you can all head there, or if you want to, we can just say an hour or so has passed and you meet back, I don't know, back at that pub if you like, and you can sort of work out where you go from there. We don't necessarily need to do a huge shopping episode again, so it's entirely up to you guys. Do you want to go an RP, a bit of blacksmithing, or do you just want to reconvene about an hour or so later?
I reckon it makes sense because everyone's only going after basics like arrows and bits of food and stuff. So we'll just bypass we walk over there, pick this up, talk about this, blah blah blah.
Okay. Well, if you're all going to go over there, then I'll give you some information on the blacksmith. I did privately talk to Ben about this because I had bits and pieces in mind for that. But I will tell you all what we were talking about, and you can decide what you want to do with it. So the blacksmith is run by Marcus and DeWright Forgehammer. They're both dwarves, as you'd expect for most blacksmiths that we've encountered so far in this world. They can create most things you would want, but they can also create magical items for you. So if you have an item in mind, or you'd like to maybe enchant a weapon to be a +1, that's fine. They can do that for you at a cost. They spoke to Mugnef. Obviously, he was after arrows, and they asked if he might be interested in doing some work for them, basically. They've given him, he paid 20 gold pieces, so if you want to mark that off your sheet there, Ben.
No problem.
He bought 4 bundles of arrows from them, so he has 20 arrows. And basically, he was given, it was the flashbang arrow, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I think I gave you the stats for that. If not, I can always pull them up again. He's got a flashbang arrow. What they want Ben to be doing, or Mugnef to be doing, sorry, is to head out in the world and test out these arrows. And I've said to Ben, the way it's going to work is if he completes the tasks given to him, then progressively he can get better and better magical arrows effectively. So it's just basically a way of making money and gearing up over time. So the first quest that they have given you is actually a bounty on this rock that you encountered last episode. So what they want done is the rock is there's a town here, or a village should I say, on the island. It's one of the ones you saw from the higher ground, and it's called, if you bear with me because I've lost my note on where I put that, it is called Hawkston. The village of Hawkston.
Hawkston Stone.
Yeah, Hawkston. Basically, it's a small village, but it serves inland. It's one of the few areas of woodland. There's a small group of Aarakocra that live there, and basically they fly intelligence for the Navy. So if something needs to get somewhere quickly, rather than sailing it from one place to another, they give it to these Aarakocra messengers who fly it to various places in the world. However, with the rock flying about, it's difficult and dangerous for them. So they really want this bird dealt with. They're willing to pay you 1,000 gold pieces to kill it.
Each.
If you complete the task, you must bring proof of the kill to the town of the village of Hawkston. And Mugnef, you must then return to the blacksmith to tell them how it went with the arrow, and then you might get a reward out of that as well. So, if you are back at the Landlubber Inn,
I don't know if I want to go back to there, to be honest.
probably just having, a quiet drink discussing this. It's up to you. You so far, the only place that you wanted to go to, which you haven't, is the library. But you do have this bounty on this bird to collect as well, if you wanted to go and do that. But again, as always, I leave it up to you. You can decide and tell me what it is you'd like to do.
Well,
I should probably make the last point of this. The location. They said it was north on the island where you are. So, yes. What's the leave location, I should say?
good to do. Well, this looks like something to do, but if we're heading that way, should we? Well, actually, we could be in the library for ages. Should we find out more about this golem as well while we're here, or guys?
I believe we found out about the golem from the barman who doesn't believe in water. And we nearly got flattened when I touched it, or nearly touched it.
Reliable source then.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
sorry.
giant on the hill.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon
Well-
first port of call is this rock bird.
If you wish, that would be fine. I would not say no to avenging Bumpsy.
It's first thing in the morning, and my blade needs blood.
Well, have a shave.
Yeah.
It's been
Should
a
we
while
get a
since I
map?
killed something.
Sounds good to me. Should we get a map to see if we can work out exactly where this, or
Most
exact
certainly.
directions?
Well, you would know. Obviously, we didn't RP out, but they would have told you that nobody really knows. They just know it's somewhere off in the northern part. There's nothing up in the northern part of the island. There is, again, there's a small sort of wooded area up there, and it's quite hilly. Where it's mostly like from sort of midway down where you guys came in, that part of the island is more like open grassland, like a moorland.
No problem. And we saw it there, so yeah.
It's just that northern part's largely uninhabited, so they just know it's somewhere up there. But
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be a particular map saying this is where the monster is.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fair enough. It's just so I knew where that size of the island, to be honest.
Well,
Well, you came from the midway point. I think I said you landed there
yeah, in the ravine
sometime late
area.
morning, early afternoon, and you got to this town by late or early evening. So you could certainly make it to the northernmost parts within the day by travelling on the road. I mean, there is a road which goes most of the way, and then you'd have to go cross country.
No problem.
Traveling's not going to be particularly strenuous.
Oh, that's all right.
You've
Then.
got your arrows. He's got his wishy-washy magic, and I've got my sword. God knows what he's got. Let's go.
Yeah.
Did you have the stats there for that arrow, Ben? I think they're in
Oh.
your message from me.
One creatures blast must take. Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, 10-foot
Yeah.
radius on impact. Yeah, take DC 14 constitutional save. Oh yeah, looks like it's all yeah.
Okay. Well, as always, as I say, it's up to you guys. If you want to head that way or if you want to hang out in the town, it's entirely up to you.
Is there a choice of getting horses or something to speed up the journey?
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly, if you ask the bar,
I am
there
not
is
dealing with that barman.
well, anyone can deal with the barman.
Why don't one of you go
Well, I've
see
got
if we
to find
can
some horses.
hire some horses and we'll make it there in half the time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so just talking to the barman, he would sell you. What's going on there? Let me get you back. Ooh. No, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm looking online and I'm also trying to move the thingy around so I can see you. Okay, yeah, he would tell you if you headed down to the farm, just down off the waterfront there, and it was farmer. What was his name?
Just
It was Farmer Hamish Quinn. You did meet him. You met him at the
Oh,
farm.
that's who Quinn is. I was trying to work out who he was.
And yeah, he's got horses that you could rent. He's sort of the only person that really keeps livestock around here, so there isn't really a stable as per se, but being a farm, he does have horses. But if you wanted to go down there, he could lend you horses at 10 gold, all of you, not each, but all of you in 10 gold for 24 hours, say.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of money, guys. Oh, not far off with all those arrows now. So I'm gonna have to use my phantom steed or
we've
borrow some.
we've got a little bit still left in here, and he'll slip you like 500 gold out of the bag.
Oh,
Bag of holding.
cool.
It's dwindling, but there's a little left.
Well, he only needs 20 gold, so you don't
Yeah.
need to get 500.
This looks like a story for another day.
I didn't say 20 gold, I said 10. Sorry, 10 gold.
Oh, not bad. I was doing several things at once. In that case, he'll just give you like the 10 gold. He'll say we're dwindling, but there's still enough to get us by.
And he directs you and just says, come with me and you can help me saddle them up, and you go get the tack for the horses and you get them ready to go. Well, the only thing I'd be concerned about would be HK trying to ride a horse, because I think he might be a bit too heavy.
Going to ask, is there some kind of car or carriage we could maybe?
I was about to say he would probably lend you like a cart.
Dragon Ball Man flat wagon.
HK can sit in the wagon, or you guys ride. But it's not going to really hamper your speed. I mean, it probably moves a little bit slower, but it's certainly going to be faster than you guys heading off on foot. So if that's what you want to do, so you can head on out the town.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen. Let's go.
And you could follow this road out of the town, which heads off west. Until you reach a certain point where you're in, like in a valley almost between rolling hills, and you sort of realise that you can't really go any more west. You're going to have to turn off the road here and start heading north. And you can see, again, as you did when you first arrived here, little herds, small herds of like cattle, just grazing. Whether they're wild or not, you don't know. Whether they're owned by someone. But you start making your way through this grassland, and after a couple of hours, you arrive back at the top of this peak where you were before, with the stone golem at the top. And from here, you are now going to be entering into uncharted territory. As you look north from up here, you do see the woodland far off where it's supposed this creature lives. But you're going to have to start thinking about how you're going to find it. It's somewhere up around there, and it does look much more hilly, but more ragged, not ragged, more craggy than where you are. It doesn't look as green or lush. It's more.
We're all going to run into this opening like those things that you have outside of petrol stations, are like them flailing arm things, and then when it attacks, we found it. That's it, one of them.
Well, you're up here. You can see where this woodland is off ahead.
Presumably this creature would nest in higher ground.
Yeah, and that's what you can see. You can see it does get...
Oh wait, I bought an enchanted scope thing. I bought an enchanted eyeglass thing.
Did you?
Fucking ages ago. Leaf
I
did.
thought that was Leaf or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I have his bag of holding.
I can't remember what that even did now.
It let me see
Detect
way further than it
birds.
should have, and detected harm or something along those lines. If you're...
I think I just gave you a bonus to investigate or perception or something.
Well, maybe what we need.
So using that, can I garner anything, any like obvious roosting places, or maybe a big pile of shit running down the cliff edge from below it, or?
Well, what was it the scope did? Have you got the notes for it?
I have, but they're on Leaf's character sheet, so not to hand. It was like an advantage thing. It was like a normal scope so I could see further, but it had some kind of advantage on probably perception.
Yeah, I think you could get an advantage roll. Well, yeah.
Shamelessly plugging your business.
Eh?
Look at you shamelessly plugging your business.
What do you mean?
Do this.
I can't see you.
Oh, lift your shirt up.
Lift my shirt. I'm not lifting my shirt.
No. Show
I
your
don't want to see
shirt.
his body.
There you go. Anyone needs your windows cleaning? Hit him up.
Right. Anyway, let's get back to the task at hand. I'm asking you to lift my shirt up.
He's not a common whore, you know.
Oh yes, he is.
Okay.
An uncommon hole.
Anyway.
Yes. If you want to go on a perception with advantage and see who can see you.
So we are having, when it decides to roll, an 18.
18. So looking through the scope, the terrain from the top of this hill going north will drop down into another sort of plain, but it sort of reaches a tree line, and the tree line ascends then to what looks like higher ground than what you're on now. But it's, as I said, it's very rocky, very craggy, probably like alpine type trees. It looks colder there as it gets higher, a bit of snow. And you can see a couple of patches of clearings amongst the trees. Obviously you can't see down into them, it's higher up than where you are, but you can see where the trees look less dense. And there's probably 2 or 3 of those. I'm trying to think how to describe it. There is, as you get closer, there'll be things to sort of guide you in. But I'd say, yeah, I mean, you can definitely spot 2 targetable areas to go looking in. And as you look towards this wooded area, probably one slightly west and one slightly east of the centre of where you are now. But getting closer, you'll definitely be able to pick up a way of locating it.
Then let us not tarry. Let's go. I reckon. Anyone got any preference between east or west?
Go west, young
Yes.
West. We have 2 for west. We're heading west.
You're going
West
to
it is.
the western one. Okay, I'm going to roll and see where it might.
Don't do that.
actually
Every
be.
time you roll, I end up in trouble. And it's always me in the trouble.
I would like to know, firstly, a couple of things. Marching order, have you got one? Or are you just going as a rabble? And also, how much noise and stuff you might be making, because obviously the large monster is probably going to hear you coming if you're making an awful lot of noise.
I'm not going to be rushing off front, but I'm not going to be necessarily being at the back. I'm just.
I imagine if we saw signs that we were getting nearer, we would start being quieter, but we wouldn't sneak
As
the
a
entire
general,
way.
we'd just walk. But I would presume, as I saw it, I would probably be toward the front, if not the front of the,
And I presume that your horse might be pulling the cart as well. It's got HK, so you guys.
Well,
it would make sense that you guys.
It depends.
would
If we're climbing a cliff, he ain't going to be in his cart. It depends how steep this is.
Well, no, that's true, but you're also got to close the distance to that tree line first, and that's what I
Right.
mean. This,
Yeah, we'll
if this
go that
thing's-
far.
if this thing's higher up than you, it could be watching you. You don't know.
Yeah. We.
Unless
I say
yeah,
we'll go
unless I have
up
a
to the
reason.
tree line, like with the cart, and then it makes sense to sort of hitch it up there and not try and drag it over roots and bumps and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool. That's fine. So you're going to spend a bit of time just crossing this final field, if you will, or this final area, open area, and you reach the tree line. You wouldn't. You could just perceive this easily. You start making your way in to the tree line. So if we can get some group stealth checks going on, because like I said, you don't want to, at this point. You don't want to be making too much noise, I don't imagine, unless you want it to know you're coming.
At the moment, not yet.
Oh, no, sorry.
I don't think we'll be getting the umpire band out just yet.
We could draw it out into the open. Try and
Yeah.
find it in a field.
Well, if we know roughly where it is, that might be a good thing.
Yeah, but if you can find it and it's sleeping, it will be easier to slaughter it.
Yeah. Anyway, my perception was 15, just for reference.
Was that for a stealth check then?
Oh, stealth. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, that's what you meant. What I meant. Sorry.
15 from Mugneff.
I got a 17.
17. Logan.
We're on a nice and healthy 3.
I got a 14, not that it matters thanks to Logan clumpy boots over there.
Well, he's never been the sharpest, has he?
Well, luckily, I think the overall score was good enough that you probably sort of grab him and just shut up. Will you just shut up? You know, stop backing around. You do manage to sneak into the tree line, so apparently undetected. To more decay. You see up ahead wagons and such. Looks like supply carts, that sort of thing. The odd occasional rotting horse. You don't see any people, any bodies from like people. Maybe whoever was driving this caravan perhaps escaped, or they've been completely devoured. You don't know. How would you like to proceed?
Quietly.
So far, you apparently have gone unnoticed in all of this.
Smells almost as bad as that tavern in here.
Almost. But I'd rather, to be honest, sleep here than in that upstairs bedroom that we had.
Oh, that was bad. I mean, there's no obvious reasons to suddenly be like, I guess we carry on as we are.
Could do, or could we find somewhere around here to set a trap and bring it out? Or more
We
exploration?
could potentially lure it out. I don't think we're going to trap it at this kind of level. It's more than likely it's going to be feeling more comfortable airborne, isn't it?
It'd be difficult to trap as well. It is a gargantuan monstrosity.
How large is this monstrosity? I know we've seen it before.
Well, it says gargantuan, which, I mean, I haven't got the table of sizes up here, but gargantuan's like pretty big.
I'd say bigger than
Well, it's
3 inches.
The bird was created for fighting dragons.
Not
and
wrong.
to be ridden by giants. So
pretty
it's
big.
I think there's somewhere in here it said it's about like the wingspan's like 100 feet or something like that.
Holy shit.
Gargantuan
I'm sure I read that somewhere.
takes up a 20 by 20
Phantom's saying
square.
he believes it's 20 foot by 20 foot squared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's big. So yeah, see, I was right, bigger than 3 inches, yo.
It's big.
Goodness, Steve, that's gargantuan.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Was that a comment in the chat? Was it, or did someone look it all up?
Phantom's well into his D&D, and he said it's 20 foot by 20 foot, and then Dan looked it up as well.
Cool. Thank you, sir. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Phantom.
Yeah. Well, the other option is we just keep searching and hopefully we find it sleeping or.
What sort of
Eating.
time is it by the time we've got to this tree line area?
Well, like I said, you've really cut your time down by travelling on horse. We said it took you like half of the day to reach the town from where that golem was. You've gone a little bit further on, only by a couple of miles, really, further north than that. You probably half your time again, so you're only going to be going into about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not taking you all day like you would have done on foot.
From here, then, I've got a bit of an idea. If I recheck again now that we're a lot closer, can I see any more signs that it is at this side and not the other, potentially?
I wouldn't even make you do a check, because you can just tell from this level of carnage, something big is picking these animals off and eating them.
Okay, with that being said, then he'll turn to the group and he'll be like, you can see all the shit going on around here. It's obviously, we can make a stand here. We've got a tree line, we've got the cliff coming up ahead. We could use the horses as a bait or a trap, turn the cart over. When it comes down, we ambush it. Stunned
Sounds
silence.
Do we need somebody to act as bait?
Well, we have horses.
But I would like to ride back on one of them.
This is true, but it's better than using us as bait.
They are only renters.
Yeah.
Collateral.
Well, we've still got a bit of time to have a look around.
It's entirely up to you. You tell me what you want to do.
Anyone got a better idea?
Of the broken wagon and the mess from the whatever trading caravan went through, are there like ropes and stuff?
Yeah, you would probably find lengths of rope. of various. I'll probably say you've got a range from 10 to 50 feet of rope, which might have been used for tying on, or you could at least tie lengths of rope together to make 50 feet.
Could maybe consider anchoring one end and throw in some other bits of rope over it and try and pin it.
I have 50 foot of rope in my pack as well.
Although if it's gargantuan, that's probably not strong
Yeah.
enough for that. Maybe if you tie it around the entire wagon.
Incapacitating it first to be able to tie it up. I don't think it's just going to let you do it.
Oh, of course it will.
Just harpoon it.
Rubbish though.
Mate, I've got javelins.
I think I've got.
We could anchor one end of ropes to trees and such, and try and javelin it, and then Cobbs, being the awesome guy he is, Walther can dive out of a treetop, wrangle this thing, and ride it. Every time it doesn't listen, it lets off an eldritch blast to the side of its face. I think this will go down well. What do you reckon? You're not that squishy anymore.
Well, you're the one
Yeah.
that provide gigantic creatures and had them killed under them, so let's go with that.
So those are my two plans. Anyone else?
I think maybe
Well,
we either go for the trap option here, maybe set up a false camp. It's a little early for camping, but we could maybe set up a false camp and make some noise. I could cast prestidigitation noises in the clearing and drag him down.
I believe that wishy-washy magic hut you cast, isn't that impenetrable?
It says so in the advertising.
I mean, that with some prestidigimawatsi with smoke and fire and sounds could make up a good false camp.
Well, yeah, but you can't see inside it. It's like, Okay.
well, as long as something's outside.
I mean, I'd be fine underneath it while the griffin rips you to pieces or whatever it is, rock. It'd be great.
Bird.
It is a rock, not a griffin. I must remember that. Rock on Tommy. But yeah, we can try. Maybe some fires and some noises and hit it from 4 sides at once.
If we can get it to land, I could maybe jump on one of its wings and at least prevent it from taking off for a while.
I still think it'd be strong enough to lift you.
20-foot bird. This little
hold on.
6-foot man on it.
Yeah, I've got a death wish, you know.
A 20-foot bird. It sounds like some night out at Bojangles on a Friday.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
I'm gonna start gathering some firewood.
So
He's
let's
gonna go
just be
just
clear,
into
what
the edge
plan
of
are
the-
you going for here?
We're kind of winging it. See what I did there? Winging it.
Okay.
Hey.
Winging it.
Bottom.
Okay. So you're going to be presumably being quiet, or are you just making noise to try and... what do you want to do?
We're setting up the camp relatively noisily as a bait kind of thing.
No. If you want to set it up quietly, you idiot.
What?
We want to make noise.
What?
I just think it's set.
Oh no.
Well,
Yes. We're
I'm
setting it
trying to
up
pay more
quietly, and then he's going to prestidigitate noise while
Yeah,
we all take
that
up
is right.
positions around in strategic ways. Oh yeah.
So are you making noise making the camp, or are you not?
We are trying not to make the noise, making the camp.
I make all the noise.
Well, with that in mind, let's have a group stealth checker, just to see how you've
Oh,
decided on
God.
your plan. 'Cause
You know I've got negative in stealth, bro. Damn it.
6.
19.
Oh, God. 3.
6.
This
Oh.
one, that's gone.
Well, I actually rolled really well for this thing, perception.
Makes sense that it would be perceptive.
Oh, it's pretty perceptive.
I told you not to get the trombones out while setting up the camp. For goodness.
So you're
Yeah.
setting this camp up, and you just start hearing this tremendous god awful screeching and bellowing. I mean, imagine like what a group of crows sounds like, but it's just one bird and it's loud. You can feel it in your chest. The impact, like wow, coming from further up, higher than what you are. You don't know exactly how far. You haven't actually ventured far enough in to find its nest. In a way, you're lucky. You do, as you start looking up, you do see this giant bird, and it is now above you, and it's circling around, and it can see you. I can tell you, it can see you for all of this. I rolled that well, plus its perception. Let's say it knows you're there, but the problem it's got is because you are in the denser part of these woods, it can't get to you necessarily.
How high is it flying at the moment?
How what?
How high is it above us?
It's above. It'll be above the trees, and I'd say the trees are fairly tall, so it's probably about 60 to 70 feet up, sort of scraping the top of trees, but it can't get down to you. Even though it's gigantic size, I don't think it can really break through trees that easily.
I wish to try and kind of partially obscure myself from view using the trees, but also climb up one.
Okay.
Can I?
Well, let's get some acrobatics on the go then and see if you can.
Yeah, I'm not doing the flips up it.
Well, what would be the alternative instead of acrobatics then? You give me a reasonable. I think it'd be something acrobatic to get up there.
Acrobatics. Yeah.
Performance. I've not got good in anything like this side of things, so acrobatics is a 17.
A 17. Yeah, you could nimbly get up the tree, I think, with that.
Can I?
Okay, I'm gonna get 2 spears ready and just wait temporarily.
How far up there are you going there? Like, how far in?
I wanted to go. I said I wanted to go like climb the tree up so I could get closer to it, but just stay like obscured by the sort of top layer-ish. So kind of out of sight, but ready, if that makes sense.
Well, I think realistically we should probably roll initiative, really, shouldn't we?
Seeing as the bird's like up there, can I just make a quick like perception check on the destroyed wagon? Does it look like it was actually destroyed by the bird, or because it doesn't seem to be able to get down here?
Now you're asking.
You can make perception on that. Give me a roll for that.
Or is there like another threat?
I mean, is everyone else just standing on the floor? Am I the only one at risk here?
Hang on, I didn't hear what HK said then.
14.
You can see it's got marks and talons.
Okay.
Mostly, the cart itself still seems to be mostly tied by the rope. The wood itself is mostly destroyed, but it is still attached by a rope to the thing that was pulling it. So you can probably discern it was either it's rolled down the hill. That's unlikely given the tree, the density of the trees, or as it's flown over the top, it's just dropped it for whatever reason. Maybe just clumsiness, who knows?
Is there a gap in this canopy as it's flying over and circling?
I mean, this dense tree, I mean, they're fairly dense, but I mean, as you look up, you can see the gaps between them. So they're sort of alpine trees, so the branches aren't like really thick, like on an oak tree, say, with leaves on it. So you can see the sky and the bird whizzing about up there. Oh, it moves pretty quickly, actually. So let's go for initiative, just so we can sort of track how things progress.
Initiative. 13 for me.
One at a time. Logan.
13.
13. HK.
14.
And Mugnef.
16.
God, you always have to be one better than me.
And Hunter.
God.
17.
Oh, try to outdo yourself.
I'm there, the one trying to be like, get this kind of drop on it, and you're all on the floor just going like, fuck it, we'll attack it, it'll come down through him to us.
But if you hadn't been climbing the bloody tree, I'd have already fired out your blasts and stuff. face you.
Top of the round is the bird. It knows it can't get to the ground floor here. So I think really it's just going to continue to move in a circular motion above where you are for a moment. I wouldn't say it's a particularly intelligent creature, so it's probably not weighing up options intelligently, but it's trying to probably figure out how it's going to get you. So after the bird, we are on to a Volta.
And Volta will pick his moment and fire 2 lovely Eldritch blasts up through the canopy.
Cool.
Towards the bird. And that was a nat 20 is the first roll.
Huzzah!
Just for anyone watching, we use the same system that is used in high rollers because I quite like it. I think it's good for the players. It gives them a chance when they crit to do some pretty serious damage. Obviously, the same can be said for myself, and it's pretty bad for them. So nat 20s obviously do max dice damage and then roll your damage for the second time round.
So that's 25 plus 16, which is 35, 41
41 points of damage.
with the first blast. Points, and the second roll is a 17.
And a 7. What, to hit or damage wise? Sorry.
So hit.
To hit, yeah, that hits. It blasts up through the trees. So the first one, a more intense blast up through the trees, whizzing past Logan, catching the bird square in the chest, and it sort of it takes the damage, and you can see it almost lose the beat in its wings for a moment from that blast. Second blast, again, not as powerful. You sort of maybe catch it on the rear quarters.
That does 13 damage.
And an additional 14 on top. So again, just probably catching it as it leaves that particular area.
I just want to make an addendum, sorry, my character. The character sheet on D&D Beyond did something weird, so it is actually 31 damage, not 41, first one.
Okay, that's fine.
It was 10 off, so it gave me an extra 10 for some reason. Just want to knock it down to 10.
That is okay.
Thank you so much.
Anything else you'd like to do on your turn? Or is there anything else you can do on your turn?
I will move a little closer to the base of a tree and under its dense foliage.
Okay, no problem. Giving yourself a bit more cover there. After that, we are on to Mugnaf.
Yeah. Well, I'll give one of these arrows a go. So.
Well, you only have the one flashbang to test.
Yeah. So
that is it shoots. I've got the text here. So it was a 10-foot radius on impact. Which is in the blast. Must make a DC 14 con save or be blinded and deafened for 1d4 rounds. So if you're shooting it up, I'd say it's probably moved. Well, it would have moved. No, it wouldn't do really because it's not his turn. You're probably going to catch Logan in that one because I think Logan went pretty much directly up from where you guys are. So you can shoot it, but he'll have to
Fuck
make a
you! No, it's like I died through not an enemy.
in that case, I realise just as I'm going to shoot it, he'll probably be in the range. So I'll get one of my other arrows and give it a go.
Shoot it directly at him.
Yeah. So,
Daniel, that was a good thing.
yeah. Anyway, so with one of my normal ones, I roll a 15.
15 just hits. Just.
Yeah, just it's good enough for me.
What's the range on your bow, though? 'Cause I mean, I don't know if that's an advantage or a normal disadvantage for the range.
Oh, let me just have a look, see what.
I think it's usually like 60 over 120 or something like that.
80 to 320.
Yeah, you're okay. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, just let me find the right.
Is it disadvantage or is it half damage if it's over the effective range? I think it's half damage, isn't it? If I remember right. I can't remember now what the rules are for bows.
If it's over a certain distance, it goes to advantage.
Cool. That's fine. So
Depending
you're
on
in range, you're fine. You can do your damage as normal.
Which is still not very much. It's 3 piercing. Yeah.
3 piercing. Cool. You probably catch it somewhere it hasn't really noticed. The arrow is not too bothered by it, annoyingly.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I'll see if I can get somewhere again by a tree, different tree, yeah, just to try to hide as much as I can.
Cool. And with that, we go over to HK, or Combat Unit 1937261493382217.
Nice. Okay, I'll plant myself firmly in the middle of the space, sort of like I'm like balancing myself, and bring out my gun on my shoulder, and then unleash a volley of 3 magic missiles at it.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Cool.
Yeah, I got ranged.
We built that for you.
They just hit, don't they? Because it's magic missile.
That was was that the way we sort of said it was like the thing on War Machine, wasn't it? Just like the turret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's only 8 points of damage for all 3.
So you sort of plant yourself, and the thing goes, and then you see the missile Logan into the air, and they catch their target. But again, it doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by that. It's sort of taking more of an impact from Volta's initial volley. But 8 points of damage, you said. So
yeah,
just down to. Oops. Cool. And then Logan, let's find out what you were doing up that tree, shall we?
I'm gonna use my kind of imitation harpoony thing that I mentioned and try and javelin it. Take it up. No.
Oh.
Hello. Are we back?
I can hear you.
back.
Okay, first one was a 10 to hit.
No, unfortunately that one misses. You just throw it a bit wide.
And the second one is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, just captures it.
So we've got only 10 damage.
Right.
But it's the rope attached to the tree. So how you want to handle that? Your side of things.
So the rope. So you've got
kind of like a harpoony thing.
Yeah, with rope attached to it, and then you've got rope that you've tied onto this tree at the top. Okay, cool. Blimey, we need to know what the strength of rope is or make up a strength.
1,000.
Let's have a quick. I'm just going to quickly look it up. If not, I'm just going to make it up. Oh, okay. We've got DC 17 strength to break rope. Cool. How do I get you guys big? Oh, there we are.
Talk to us real nice.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Sounds nicely, Mike.
Hey!
The bird's effectively going to make a strength save to see if it can, if the rope's going to have any impact at all, or it's going to. No, unfortunately, the rope does not have any purchase. It just breaks. Is this on the tree that you're currently in?
I mean, I want to say no, but that would be a lie.
Okay, so
Fuck's sake.
it only just had strength. It only just had the strength from what I rolled to break free of this rope as it's trying to leave the area. I want a dex save out of you, please. Because obviously, as this happened, it's pulled the tree with it. So you have like a kind of.
Team Rocket's blasting off
the tree, please.
God damn it. Oh, Dex is strong. I'm just gonna get 2.
Well, I said the trees are 60 feet, and you're going to have to be fairly high up in them to be throwing javelins out of the canopy. I'd say you're at least probably 50 feet up, so that'd be 5d6 bludgeoning as you hurtle from the floor.
Are you rolling that or am I? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Go on, let's have it.
We're getting a huge amount of static from your end, Mike.
Oh, really? Don't know why.
It stopped now. It was just a minute ago it was.
Nothing I can hear.
Yeah, it's your sound that's breaking up, Branchy.
What?
Yeah.
It's whoever's clicking.
Yeah.
Ben removes himself.
Anyway, what's the damage?
What am I rolling it? What did you say?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll let you roll your own falling out the tree damage.
How many was it? 5d6, did you say?
5d6, you fall in 50 feet.
Fucking hell.
Biddy! At least you won't be in the way of our shots now.
Damage. 15 damage. Ouch. Fucking
So,
ouch.
so you took 15 damage.
Yes, I'm gonna presume I'm fucking prone as well right now.
Yeah, you'll be
After
prone
that
when you hit
debacle.
the deck.
Also, how far am I away?
You'll be prone when you hit the crack down. But I mean, with 15 HP, it's not too bad. You know, could have been worse. Yeah, you hit the deck, and it's like a really disgusting thud. And
Oh, what was that?
you're prone as you hit the floor. But yeah, that'll be your turn, I'm afraid. Coming back around, it will be
God damn it.
the bird, and unfortunately, the bird still can't do the thing it wants to do. I think the bird's going to fly away. It seems to break this. It seems to break this circling above where you are, and it's heading away.
Oh.
But you do hear shortly after a huge kaboom in the woods ahead of you, as presumably it's landed. So that'll be its turn, and then we'll have Volta.
There doesn't appear to be anything left to shoot at.
Are we staying within initiative at the moment?
Stay with initiative. Yeah, you're still in the combat. It's just
How far off does the landing sound?
I won't make you roll for it. I'd say it probably sounds close, not too far away from where you are. You could easily walk up to it. It's just one of those things.
I'll pull my ass out of the dirt and start brushing myself off and like, so my plan failed. Who's next?
Well, we've got down here, hopefully.
Well, we're in initiative still, so it's Volta. Realistically, I mean, if he's got nothing else to do, then you can go through the cycle, I suppose, and make plans.
I can't think of anything that I would wish to do in initiative unless you want us to walk towards the nest in initiative.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
My arrows have a radius of 10 foot, so I don't want anybody to be anywhere near it when I try to fire one of those and give it a 10.
I say
We'll keep the initiative order, but if you want to sort of discuss your next actions, but keep the order so that if it's that you want to go and find where the sounds come from, we've got the order to go straight back into, and we'd started off with Volta at the top of that round.
Yeah, fine. Then maybe we should make our way through the forest and chase it down. It has been injured.
Mm.
But I'd rather have it come to us on our grounds. See if we can attract it here.
I assume
Don't
if it
think
could
you
have
can get
landed
through the
here, it would have
trees.
landed here. I think it's gone to some kind of clearing area.
Mm.
As a guess, maybe we could like at least get closer and sort of reassess when we're, you know.
Yeah,
Agreed.
let us creep through the forest and approach the beast.
We can always stay just out of reach if we need to.
I volunteer myself to go at the rear of the group right now. Don't you shake your golden locks at me.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You've fallen further than that in your life.
Well, cautiously edge past some of these bodies and make your way forward. And, maybe 50, 60, 70 feet ahead, the trees start to clear out a little bit, and you can now get an eyeball another sort of 50 feet through some more trees. There is a ginormous clearing, and almost like a rocky outcropping or a plateau almost. And there is this ginormous nest, and it's made from fallen trees, bits of cart that is obviously picked off of various caravans or traders' carts. There are bones even interweaved into, and there in the middle, letting out another deafening screech, is this bird, and it sort of rears back and opens up its wings and flaps them, beats them. And that's where we'll go back into the initiative order. You have about 30, as I think it said, about 30 feet of trees left, and then you are 50 feet to the nest where this thing is. So a total of 80 feet away from you.
Whose turn was it initiative-wise?
So Volt is up first,
Volta.
then it'll be Mugnef, HK, Logan.
Using the rings, I will telepathically communicate with everyone in the group if I can.
Yeah, you can do that.
Suggests that we wish to get a little closer so we're ready to attack. And not attack this, straight away as soon as we get within range, because I'm in range now, but maybe we all want to be a little bit better positioned.
For anyone listening who didn't catch the first episode of this season, we've acquired some rings that let us basically use basically like you said, telepathic communication that only us lot can hear. So I'd respond with, we could get closer, maybe even surround it a little.
Yeah,
Using the
spreading
rings,
out is a good idea.
I think that's Logan's about third accent this episode.
He's behind his clock, isn't he, really?
He's got, I don't know, many personalities in there. Why not? Full of joyous people.
He encompasses the spirit of all of his fallen brothers.
There are lots of those.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to use your movement speeds up I'd say you can all move forward, but we'll maybe cycle through all. Unless there's anything specifically you guys wanted to do on your turns, we'll say you use your movement speed to get into positions, and then we'll start the round off again.
It makes sense if we're all able to kind of creep close-ish and be just for the ease of seeing it out, if you get what I mean. We'll just be sort of north, south, east, and west of the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you're happy with us to just go there and then carry on.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to encircle it. It's a very large nest. So you would go through several turns because your movement speeds aren't going to be great enough. You're going to get all the way around this nest in one go. You'd probably use the furthest position. If you wanted to get directly opposite, you'd probably be 2 turns, something like that. Depends on what your movement speed is.
Yeah.
But as I said, when you break the tree line, to get directly to that nest is 50 feet.
Mm. As long as I can clearly see it, I'm happy with get a clear shot. I'm happy from the distance I am with for the arrows.
Yeah, I'm going to make my way to the edge of the clearing, but stay a couple of feet back in the trees, so I'm partly concealed. And I'll make the signal with the ring that I'm in place, and those people who need to get close can go as close as they like.
I mean, I have to get relatively close, so I guess I'm just going to stay at the tree line.
Mm.
and draw my humongous sword.
Yeah.
I'll just message on the ring to say, just keep we're out of 10-foot radius for these.
Cool. Okay, so how far are you guys traveling based on your movement speeds then? Because
I think, am I 30? I'm on 40 foot, so I get whatever I can to get in a reasonable position within that.
okay.
So
Yeah.
How big would you say this clearing is? If the bird's 20 foot across, how big would you say its nest is? Like 30? Because it wouldn't be like.
I don't think we said it was 20 foot across. I don't think anyone said. I think it takes up. Its floor space takes up. Was it 20?
from the edge of the trees to the nest is 50 foot or so.
Yeah, it's 50 feet from the tree line to the nest. I'm just trying to see. I've read somewhere about its wingspan, so I can tell you how it is, but I'm trying to remember where I found it. It's probably not going to jump out at me very quickly, and I'm not going to waste time sat here redoing things again. But yeah, I mean, it's 50 feet from the tree line to the nest. So, like I said, you're going to be. You can move directly forward to the tree line and take up position there. But to go and fan out around it, you would need another turn to sort of start spreading out around the edges of it. And in that time, the bird's going to have a go, because obviously you're going to be using your movement to get up there, and then it'll be coming around to the bird, and then it'll be back to you guys to do what your next plan is. So if you all want to move up to the tree line for this first go, you can.
I'd say so, if you're all happy for that.
So we started off at initiative, so it would have gone Walter, Mugnef, HK, Logan, you've all moved up, taken up a sort of rough position on the tree line, but directly in front of it. It is the rocks go. I'm going to see if it notices you there. Oh yeah, it definitely notices you guys.
All of us.
So it's all of you. It notices all. It's perceptive as fuck. So it is going to use. I created a layer action for it. It doesn't actually have one in the monster manual, but I created one because I thought it'd be quite funny or cool to have this. Basically, having noticed that you're all there, you see it takes off. And it shoots up into the air even with injury, relative ease. You don't appear to have done much in the way of injury. You might see as it takes off, maybe a few ruffled feathers on its underside. But it goes up, and then it seems to have almost disappeared. You sort of look, where the hell's that gone? And it just, all of a sudden, like a falcon, it just folds its wings in, just goes straight down. And it hits the ground in front of the tree line. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
I wish for the bird to make a saving throw to not get concussion. We're on a mod of 20. We're okay with this one.
16 here.
15.
So everyone except HK, as this bird lands, basically as it comes down, it sort of stops at the last or slows down at the last moment by wafting its wings. The idea of this is it's like a ground slam, wafting air in your direction. HK is knocked prone. Everyone else, you manage to sort of steady yourselves by grabbing hold of trees as this blast of air comes into you. It doesn't do any damage. It's just a way of knocking you back effectively. So it's also, that's the layer action that goes on a 20. So the rock goes on an 18. And he is going to target the downed HK. He's going to he makes 2 attacks. He has a multi-attack, one with his beak and one with his talons. And neither are particularly nice. That is a 12 plus 13 to hit. 12 plus 13 on the beak attack. So that's 25 to hit.
Okay, yeah.
And then talons is, again, it's a 17 plus... There's a 17, yeah, 17 plus 13, so we're hitting on both of those. So it sort of shoves its head inside the tree line, just where you are there, because you were on the edge of your movement. It is 48 damage on the beak attack. Beak attack by D8. So add this up as we go along. 3, 5, 6, 12 plus 9 piercing damage from the beak.
Okay.
So what's that? 9. That's
Shit, can you get that? Sorry.
Dan's house is burning down.
sounds like it. And then 4d6 damage from the talons.
That's my Conan Exiles alarm.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13. 16.
Oh, he's worrying when the DM rolls this many dice.
No, it's 4d6. I've only got 1d6 on it at the moment. What I say was 19 plus 9, so 28.
Okay.
Points of talon damage.
Ouch. You should have thrown yourself out of a tree.
But that's not all. It ends the turn by as it slashes at you with its talons, as it sort of leans back and a big taloned foot comes through the trees and rakes at you. It also grapples you at the same time. And I'll tell you now, it's a DC 19 to escape that grapple.
Oof!
And it will pull you towards it, obviously, as it needs to try and balance itself out. Cool, that's its go. Volta.
I will launch the Eldritch Blast in its face. If it's 2 beams. And the first one is a 24.
Oh, that hits.
And that will hit it for a whole 8 points of damage.
Every little helps.
And with my left hand, I will hit it with a 22.
Yep, that hits.
And clap it round the ears for 11 points of damage.
For a further 11. Sweet.
And then is it in sort of, because it's grabbed down and moved backwards, is it sort of out of melee range now, or is it still in?
So it sort of landed on the tree line. I guess you guys are at the tree line, so it was able to sort of land, knock Dan prone. You guys didn't go anywhere, and it sort of lurched in, did its attack with its beak, lurched back, claws in, rakes him, and pulled him out. I'm explaining this with my hands, but you can't actually see my hands; they're down outside the camera. But anyway, yeah, it's on the tree line, so you guys are pretty. I mean, you're almost.
He's been fully dragged away. He's gone. Save him.
Yeah. So he can't sort of move back a bit without getting attacked. In other words.
No, you'd all be in threat range.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine then.
Ben, are you frozen or are you sitting incredibly still? No, he's there. That was like so perfectly statue still.
Is there anything else on Volta's turn?
No, there is nothing else I wish to do.
Okay. We are going to Mugnef then.
In that case, I'm going to firebolt this one because I don't want to basically ignite anything at the moment. Or I'm saying that was a firebolt, but no.
We could light his nest on fire.
Good, as long as we can keep it there.
Well, I don't mind about the forest.
Like that time we set the Drow village on fire.
We didn't kill those children.
We don't tell anybody about that.
We don't talk about those goings on.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll
It's
take
an accident, and I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah.
Crying out loud. Anyway, I rolled a 11 while we're trying to do a firebolt. Firebolt, sorry.
So yeah, as you sort of conjure up these flames and send them outwards, it does miss the bird, which is quite surprising considering it's right in front of you. But you do manage to miss the bird, and you don't know where the ball's gone. It's just hurtled off somewhere into the distance. Does that one actually require a 2 hit?
Yeah, it did say, I'm sure.
Okay. I know some of them.
It says make a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. If there's nothing else, it will be HK.
That's good timing.
So you are currently grappled. It was a DC 19 to break free of that grapple.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 3.
It's restrained. In the
Self-destruct. Cripple it.
You are. So it says the condition is basically you are restrained until the grapple ends.
Restrained.
It's always a moderate.
No, like one of them attack, right?
I would say that where it says escape DC 19 and you're restrained, I'd imagine that's probably some sort of strength save. Try and, as you're sort of bound up, sort of push your arms out and break free. Is how I would imagine that.
I can attack, but I would have disadvantage. I'll try break free. I'm pretty strong.
You are pretty strong. He's a beefy boy.
So what is this, just a strength save?
Yeah, it doesn't actually say. It just says
Or is it
escape
strength
DC
check?
19, so I would just say make a strength save. Yeah.
Save. Oh, that's like stupid good. 23.
Yeah, so I mean you probably suspended ever so slightly off the floor. It can't put its foot down because you're in its foot. So it's probably hovering just above the floor. And as you drop down, and again you'd be prone because you just landed on the floor beneath it. So you need an action to get up. So you probably can't attack on that turn. I don't think, because you would use your action to break free of that grapple.
Yeah.
So unless you've got any bonus actions you can do.
I took some damage. I will rage.
Cool. Do it.
Rage.
Do it. Logan.
Logan is going to draw his big ass bastard greatsword and he's going to run up and try and hack this thing's leg that's holding HK. He's going to swing with his greatsword for 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Causing 10 damage. Then he, with his, so 10 damage, action surge gives him another for 21 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Causing 9 damage, and then he's got extra attack twice because of his levels. One is 22 to hit. The other is 19 to hit. Do both those hit?
They both hit.
So one is 12 damage, and one is 16 damage. So he does like these 4 huge slashes on this leg that's holding HK.
28. Well, he dropped HK already, but that's fine. 28, so that's...
That's what I get for reading things while the go is going on. Anyway, he attacks his, his legs.
HK gets dropped out of its talon, he breaks free, and then you come hurtling yourself out, running out of the trees like a crazy person with a great sword, smashing into its leg. And you start seeing gouges and gashes appearing in this leg, and it starts sort of swaying towards the other leg to try to get some support. Blood starts pouring out and spilling onto HK.
Can I check how far away it was from the tree line? How far have I run to get to it?
Oh, you would have moved up a couple of feet. It was there on the tree line. You guys, I mean, as long as you didn't fan out miles down the tree line, but you didn't because I think you said you had 40 feet of movement.
That's right.
I said you moved up 30 feet to the tree line. So in this new round, you've had enough to get there, basically.
That's true. Then we're all good. I can't do anything else other than stand there, wait to be pummeled, I guess. Fuck you, bird!
Cool. So you've done this damage to its leg, and it's pretty taken aback by that. And it's also looking slightly more ragged again from the magical damage, but it doesn't seem to deter this bird. It once again goes in for that layer action where you just see it fly up and come crashing down. So again, dex saves, please, gentlemen. And DC was 14 for that.
11 here.
Dex save, you said it, wasn't it?
So Mugnash.
Oh, sorry, 12. Yeah.
I got 10.
You're prone.
Yes.
Mugnash and Logan are prone. HK?
I got 18, but I'm already prone, aren't I?
Yes, you are, yeah. Yeah, you are. How about Volta? Walter's gone very quiet.
I can't hear you.
15.
Cool. So you're okay. So we've got Logan, we've got Magnef, and HK all on the floor. Obviously, HK was already prone, so he just probably gets blasted slightly harder into the floor. He's like, from that. But luckily, Volta's still up. And now he has a few people to choose from who are on the floor. And after that horrendous assault, it's going to attack at Logan.
I'm fucking prone as well.
13 plus 13 to hit. So 26 to hit. With its beak.
No, that misses.
No, it doesn't.
Please, sir. Please miss.
And then for the attack with its talons, again 26 to hit with that. So we'll go for the beak attack first as it turns to face you as you're on the floor.
What sort of
big
extras
beak.
do I incur for being prone, or is it just as is?
I don't know actually.
I think it's just advantage on his attack, but they both hit.
It would have been advantage on the attack, but I'm not going to roll as damage on it because to hit is so high. It would just be ridiculous. It'd just be ridiculous. So 4d8 plus 9 piercing from this giant beak.
Am I doing this, or are you doing this?
I'm rolling this. Yeah, I'm rolling
Fuck.
this. 1 plus 7, so 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plus 9. I'm not very good at maths. Somebody help me out here. 14 plus 9 is 23.
Yes.
23. From the beak poking at you. And the talons, the big claws come and rake across your chest. And that's 4d6 plus 9. So that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 plus 9. So 18 points of raking damage. And much alike HK, it's to grapple you now in that wounded leg.
Fuck!
We go over then to Volta.
Yeah.
Right, we're just going to have to expend an action to get up.
Oh, we just crashed out on stream. We have a little trailer going on.
Yeah, I forgot I set that up.
We're back in Zone. So I will hit it with an Eldritch Blast from the left.
Yep.
It's a 24.
Can you cast Eldritch Blast? So you have to use an action to get up from prone. So
I didn't get
okay.
knocked out.
No, you didn't get knocked over. No, I'll tell a lie. Yeah, sorry. So Eldritch Blast. Sorry.
That first one does 11 points of damage.
Yep.
And with the other hand, I've got nothing up this sleeve either, a 15.
To hits. Yeah.
Ooh, goody. On the other hand, with nothing up the sleeve, does 14 points of damage.
Sweet. That's a big fat 0, and that goes down to 1. It's a 5. Cool. And yeah, again, hitting with these Eldritch Blasts, and you start blasting in the sides, and it looks now like it's starting to become pained. It's certainly not looking pleased about this damage. Anything else from Volta?
No, I don't. How dark is the little tree line that I'm in? Is it very dark?
No, it's. I mean, like I say, the trees aren't. They're dense, but they're not so dense that light can't come through. It's slightly dim.
Then I can't do nothing. If it had been a little bit shady, I could have melted into the shadows.
Yeah, it's not. It's during the day. There's not a lot in the way of shadow. So, if nothing else, it'll be Mugnef.
Yeah. Oh, there's not a huge amount I can do when I'm down, so I'm just stand up. I'm going to just say, when you have chance, I want you to make sure you're out of 10 feet radius of this rock. And,
He's remembered the arrow.
yeah, I have remembered the arrow.
Use it, my man.
Yeah. So, and because I can't fire on this go, can I? Oh no, I can still fire, can I?
Yeah, it's your movement to get up.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
action. It's, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just movement, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry?
Well, it's an action to get up. So unless you've got any
Yeah,
bonus actions,
that's what
you can
Yeah,
do.
no, I haven't got any bonus actions, so yeah, that's fine. I'll probably get, as long as I'm still in shot, I'll probably get about 30 feet back.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can. No, because you wouldn't be able to move after you've got up from prone.
Okay,
Use your
in that
movement
case,
to
I'll stay where I
It
am.
uses half movement, I think, to
That's
stand up.
half movement. Okay, so
Up to 15.
you can
as
drop
long as
back
I'm
15 feet then.
Yeah, as long as I'm within range, I'm fine.
It's not
Yeah.
an action to get up, it's just half your speed. I've just double checked.
Just double check. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Use a half your movement to choose to either take your whole action. No, wait. My bad.
I thought red tackle, it was to get up from prone was an action.
Oh, I thought it was, but
No,
I'm not
you
sure.
are. Yeah, you're right. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
It's just road dodge. Go on, carry on. My bad.
that's all right. I'm trying to run combat and remember where all you guys are and where this thing is and what it's doing, and remembering all the nitty gritty little rules is like that's not going to happen.
The rules are more what you call guidelines.
Exactly. So Magnef, you can't go anywhere. You've got up, and that's it, unless you want any bonus actions. So it would be HK.
No.
I am grappled again?
No,
I'm grappled.
You're grappled. Okay. Alright.
That layer action really does throw a spanner in the works.
It does.
Yeah, I keep wanting to fire my arrows.
What did we just agree on actions for standing up? It takes an action.
It's an action to stand up.
Ah,
That's what it's been.
I guess
I
I'll
don't think
stand up
we
then.
I think that is the actual ruling on it.
Say that again.
Carry on.
I'm using my second monitor.
For example, if your speed is 30 feet, you must spend 15 feet of your movement to stand up.
Your lighting is so much better when you're using a white screen on your other monitor.
I don't know.
I will end the debate now. Prone, and this is from Roll20.net. Prone's creature only movement option is to crawl unless it stands up and thereby ends the condition. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls while prone, and an attack roll against the creature has advantage if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Otherwise, the attack roll has disadvantage. It doesn't say that it uses up the entire movement action. I'm sure I read it did. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Well, we're mid-game going to go into that. We can alter that for another time if we need to. But I'm sure I read that you can. It takes the action to get up.
Okay.
And then your only other option would be bonus actions.
I will stand up. And then be knocked down again in half a turn.
Well, I don't know. I might not be so cruel next time. It will be a long-winded combat if we keep doing that. Logan, it is your go. You are grappled, and it was we said a DC 19 strength save to break out. Although you can have an attack against it.
I can have an attack against it whilst grappled.
Hang on. No. It says you're restrained. It grappled you, but your condition is restrained. Creature speed becomes
can I give an opposed strength and try and grapple the bird?
Well, I don't know how that would work because you're in its. It's got you wrapped up like a sausage. No, you can't. You can't attack it. You need to break out. It can attack.
I'm going to shit in its talons.
Hopefully,
I said I'm going to shit in its talons and it tries to wipe me off.
You can make a Constitution saving throw and see if you got scared enough that you cack your pants.
I mean, it started as a joke. We're rolling with it. Wait. 22. It's on stream there. 19 plus 3.
I think that's a pretty strong constitution. You don't shit yourself.
No. I choose to.
Okay.
Come on, let's roll with this. Roll with it.
I think being a bird that probably shits in its own nest, it probably doesn't care. Or has noticed.
I mean, does that take my action? Or can I have that as a reaction?
That's just stupidity. Do you want to try and break free or not?
Yeah, of course I do, yeah. Strength
roll a
check,
strength
wasn't
save.
it? 22.
You break free from its grapple. It drops you on the floor. You are prone until your next turn.
Yep.
Which is great. So that was Logan. It's the bird. I'm not going to use the lair action this time because it's just getting a bit boring now. To choose to attack Volta, I think, this time because Volta's been blasting it the most of magic. So it's going to turn in Volta's direction and come at you, sir, and make its multi-attack. So first with the beak, it's plus 13 to hit. That is a natural 1, so only a 14 to hit.
14 is a hit.
Is a hit. That's unfortunate. And then it'll go for its second attack, which is the talons, which is 11 plus 13. So that'll definitely hit you. So the first round is the beak. So the beak, you see its giant head just poking in your direction as it does so. So that is 48 plus 9, which is 5. Plus 5, 10, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 plus 9 is 30 points of damage from that beak bashing at you. And then the talon attack, which is 4d6 plus 9. This is the best rolls I've had so far, and I know you're probably not as able to take it as what HK is. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16 plus 9, so that's 24, 25?
25, yep. And can I say 2 words to you on that? Hellish rebuke.
Motherfucker! Oh,
So-
damn.
Give us the wording.
Dexterity save, please.
Dexterity save.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
It's a straight 9.
Then you fail it and you take 47 points of damage.
Oh.
Oh.
Is it that? Say?
Sorry, 47 points of damage.
Yeah, does it say what type of damage?
It is flamey damage.
I'll have a look.
Hellish
I thought it was.
flames engulf you and burn you to little pieces.
Sadly not. But, however, that... So you see the beak starts pounding at your body, and then the talons come raking in at you. And I think so it negates all damage to you, doesn't it?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
So it takes you get attacked by this bird, but whatever spell activates it, almost like a barrage of flame just erupts in its face and engulfs the whole thing, searing off so many feathers. It's probably going to struggle to fly. And that's a deafening scream as you do so. It's
Would have taken that on the first attack.
It's looking pretty messed up after that. It
Squawk,
probably
squawk.
can't take a whole lot more. And probably poetically, it is Volta's go. You might have a chance at finishing it off.
Then I shall. Ugh.
Blessings
It
to
is
you.
with the Eldritch blasts in the face, left and right.
Yep.
The first one will be a 18
To hit. Yep.
to hit, and that will do 9 points of damage.
Oh dear.
9.
9!
Second one will be 25.
Yep, that hits.
And that will do 9 points of damage. 9, 9.
9!
Nine.
Anything else from Volta?
No, there is nothing I can do apart from gasp a little feebly.
So as it's reeling in pain from this barrage of flame and magical bolt, it's still standing, but you can see it's really bad. It's looking pretty bad. Monk Neff.
I presume people are still within 10 feet of the bird, yeah?
It is, but part of the conditions you can get that thing is to blow that arrow up. if you turn to shoot at it with that arrow, well, you'd get yourself. The way I envisioned it, you're in a kind of like a line, like a semicircular line around it. You would get Volta, you'd get yourself.
Has it moved nearer to me then? Yeah. Has it moved nearer to me since that?
Oh no, because you dropped back, didn't you? So you'd be okay. You'd probably end up getting. Well, you would get HK and Logan because they were pretty much right on top of it as well. You would get everyone of it.
I'm not gonna do that, so I'm not that cruel. Yeah, crying out loud. In that case, another fire bolt from me.
You could just say that you had a successful test of it, having killed the bird. Yeah, go on, firebolt it.
Yeah. Oh god, I didn't use this on the arrow. 6
to hit. Unfortunately, once again, whoosh, you just hurl a fireball somewhere into the forest.
Yeah, curse, and then just say, if you get, I want to use the arrow at some point. Let me get out of the way.
So you miss, unfortunately, and there's nothing else. HK.
Can I be that guy and read from the player's handbook?
Be that guy.
Be that man.
For example, wait.
What is it you're referencing?
Standing up takes more effort. Doing so costs an amount of movement equal to half your speed.
Okay.
Player's handbook.
Player's handbook. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just for future reference. Okay. Is he looking worse? He's looking worse for wear, right?
It looks like it's on death's door.
Yeah.
It's on fire. It's like lots of feathers.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna godhammer him.
I forgot you had the god hammer. Holy shit!
This guy has beaten me sideways. And that's a nat 19 plus
Nearly.
8. So does that hit?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't done this in a while.
You might not need to.
I want to total it just for my own satisfaction.
Did you ever play like the Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker, where you fight that big bird on top of the castle?
Oh yeah. The rock.
You kill it.
Literally get rock's feather from it.
You get but you get that like massive hammer and you like smash its head into the floor. That's what I think's coming.
That's a fantastic game. Underrated.
That was, in my view, that was the best one they ever made.
It was very, very, very good. I might stream that actually. Think about it. Thor reference. The hammer he's using is Thor's Mjolnir, if I remember correctly.
It is Mjolnir. Well, sort of.
No,
No, it's not Mjolnir.
No, it isn't.
So that does 15 lightning damage and 19 thunder damage.
Why don't you tell us what you do to finish this fucker off?
Oh, Nick, just go for the classic, like, spin up and then up under the beak.
The alley-oop. So as the hammer connects, the beak probably dislodges of its face from the amount of and lightning crackles and it erupts all around it, and it does. Its head just violently jerks back, and you hear the snapping of the neck as it falls ungracefully to the floor finally.
And it's beak,
dead.
careful.
You have vanquished the foe.
I'm going to put in at that point that I loosened it for you.
Yeah.
Out of interest, because like I said, that was that's the toughest thing you've fought. How badly did that mess you guys up? If it messed you up at all?
Almost killed me.
I am just over half health.
But as usual, I did
Glad
stupid
it
stuff
didn't
with
touch
it.
me.
I'm just less than half health.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting round to you, but you hadn't done any damage to it, so I was like focusing more damage on those guys because they hadn't been doing damage to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Didn't they say
Exorbitant dead?
we needed to bring back proof of the death of this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, what can we
Well-
reasonably carry or take as proof of this gargantuan beast?
Well,
I was thinking we could roast it. We just set the nest on fire and then we
Well,
roast rockbird
I
for
think
dinner.
I want to see what
think
this arrow
that's
does.
started off
First of all.
already. Oh, sorry, not
That one
that.
roasted.
Volta started on roasting it. Hellish rebuke.
Chat says that they believe that would be classed as a hard encounter in their eyes. Just as
So
a
you
sort
didn't
of...
think it was a hard encounter?
No, chat says that's what they think it would be.
A hard encounter. According to thingy, it's a
Cobalt
medium
Fight Club.
encounter. And if you go by the
Whatever.
if you go by the solo monster table in Xanathars, for a group of level 10 adventurers, 4 of you, yeah, I mean it should be somewhere medium to hard. It's
Not bad.
the maximum challenge rating recommended for you guys is 12 by Xanathars, and that's the challenge 11.
I think that layer action gave it a little bit of extra spice. That was a good.
Yeah,
move.
that was good, that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was
Is
like,
it- As a
I'll
quick
go to-
aside, is anyone against roasting this bird? Because it would provide us with a shit ton of food, and we keep having to buy rations and stuff.
Is rock?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You could always sell it to make some money.
Still won't last.
As long as we keep the head.
Well, we could smoke it instead of just burning it to shit.
Yeah.
Open a
Never
takeaway.
tried
Well,
smoked chicken. Could you
to be
smoke
honest,
Are there any eggs in the nest? Can we fry them up as well?
You can. I tell you what, you can go and investigate, and I will tell you what's in the nest based on the dice roll.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's not great. 7.
7. You can have a good look around in there, and there might be remnants of broken shell, but there's no intact eggs. You can see.
Broken
I
shell.
wish to take one of its eyes.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, I mean that would probably be sufficient evidence that you
Yeah.
killed.
I think it's about the only thing I could carry of the bird, other than maybe. Ooh, feathers would be cool. Can I take? What
Yeah,
feathers are intact? Can I throw a few feathers in the bag of holding?
Oh man.
I would say sufficient evidence that you killed this bird would probably be like a talon, things that you wouldn't just find in its nest. So
Oh
a
no, I
talon,
mean like.
an eye.
I wasn't using the feathers for evidence. I just think they might come in as something useful
Oh,
down
yeah,
the line.
You can
So-
definitely take feathers.
We'll take
Like a massive
big,
quill.
a big ass bunch of feathers, something in future.
Yeah.
They'll come in for something.
You could definitely take some feathers.
How many
Can
can we
make a
have?
Flight suit.
Well, however many you want to fit in your bag of holding. I mean, I wouldn't say they weigh an awful lot.
Well, it's got a shitload of room in there. We'll take a decent amount. We can make some. We can do something with
Well,
them later
We
on.
knocked his whole beak off, right?
Have a little think, because basically, if we take a quick bio break,
yeah.
That
take a
sounds
quick
good
bio
to me.
break, and then have a little think about what you want to do, and resume in 5 minutes.
Okay, no worries.
It's not because I want one. I had a request from one of you.
In that case, I'll see you all shortly. Hang fire. Go and get a drink. Go do something nice. Have a beer. Have a piss. Enjoy.
Promise, I don't want to be strapped.
Okay, we are back. We are refreshed. We've got drinks with emptied our bladders. And yeah, we've got a shit ton of feathers. I've carved out an eyeball. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as I said, I'm gonna just put my arrow into the bag of holding just to hide it. So there's just say I've tested it.
So just to clarify, the flashbang arrow, which you asked to test, field test, you're going to lie and hide the arrow from them.
Oh, I'm not going to put the woods on fire.
They wouldn't know, so I mean,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Cool. What would you guys like to do? I think that really, I mean, that probably took. How many rounds was it? We probably weren't there for too long. The time you sort of set yourselves up, trying to set this trap up, you probably mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Do you think we could get any feed out of this, guys?
You've got a good few hours of daylight, because as I said, you were in sort of like a summery type of month. You got the horses, you could travel back. They did say that you would have to go to Hawkston to turn in that quest effectively. Obviously, Mugneff needs to go back to the blacksmith to light.
We will carve some, like Mugneff says, and we alluded to before, we'll carve some meat off to smoke when we make camp, try and get a couple of rations out of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Someone did say take the beak, which would have been fun, but I think it's a bit disintegrated.
Take the what?
Beak. It's a bit shattered and smashed in. It's somewhere like 50 miles that away. So if everyone else is happy, I'm ready to head out or make camp or whatever we're doing.
If you're making meat,
Whoa.
will that count as a short rest, or?
We don't necessarily need to do it immediately, but we can't spend too long.
What do you want to do? For
I
a
was
short
just saying,
rest?
if there's a lot of cooking up meat, will that count as a short rest? Or the
Well,
rest
if you're going to sit around it and sort of consolidate and cook, then yeah, you're going to have to class that as a rest.
I mean, are we doing that, or are we getting back to town within the same daylight? I mean, we could always
We'll
buy.
at least try to get to this village.
Well, you don't get to cook meats then.
I mean,
True.
The
we've
village
got some
side,
rations.
You're going to need to take by horse, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 hours. So it'd be like, would it be 2 or 3 hours? Yeah, probably. No.
I mean, I've spent longer than that driving back from the supermarket before. The meat won't
about 3
spoil.
hours to get there from the big town. So no, it wouldn't. It'd take an hour or so. Probably
We'll
over an
take
hour.
one massive rock drumstick leg on the cart and see how we go.
So HK, who's already covered in blood from where you were gashing into its leg above him, is now cart with said leg.
Yes. That is correct.
Yeah.
What would be the?
There's a joke there somewhere, but
Let's leave it at that.
I'm just thinking about how heavy that leg might actually be.
It's,
In terms of what
don't
meat.
forget, birds have hollow bones.
Well, they do. I'm just thinking you got that cart plus the weight of
and they can fly.
HK in that.
HK can just like run alongside his machinery. He can just, like,
Yeah, I can roll it.
If HK was to run alongside, that would slow you down. Because the point of taking the horses was that you can move quicker.
HK can. Fuck off, HK.
I can run it at the same speed as a horse and wagon, right?
I don't know. What's the speed of a horse?
A horse with a car with a giant turkey leg on it.
It's just unladen, like African.
Oh, there we
That's
go.
never taken me.
Right, yeah.
Bring me along like a balloon.
Riding horse at the speed of about 60 feet around. So I don't think you're going to be moving at 60 feet around.
I got 40 feet of movement if I'm dashing. That's 80.
Yeah, but you'll be exhausted if you're dashing.
I'm Warforged. They are immune to exhaustion.
This makes sense. Let's go for it. Come on. Rule of cool. Let's go. We have a giant turkey leg.
Yeah.
Come on, DM. Come on, Mr. DM. We can play the Benny Hill music in the background.
Being exhausted, I guess. So yeah, fine.
Benny Hill music's running in the background, and we're going.
Fine. What the hell is that noise?
It's the noise of the cart under that great tree.
Pulling my chair.
You can dash
Oh, fine.
alongside the bloody horse and cart. I will allow it. because you can't be exhausted.
I know. I'm gonna get some wheels when we get back to town.
You ever seen that old film, The Return to Oz? You're going to be one of them wheelers.
Where are you going? To the town or to
Hawks.
the village?
Yeah, the where we need to turn the quest in, I guess.
Cool.
That's right, isn't it?
Somebody. So you start heading back down out of this sort of wooded area, back into onto the grasslands. Somebody nominate me a number between 1 and 20.
I'll roll for it. He's already rolled for it.
Hey, what do you get, Ben?
I've got a 15.
I got a 15 too.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Let's see if I get a 15. Just,
If all four of us
five.
get 15s, we win. Dan, shut up.
I mean, 15.
15.
So yeah, you start heading back along, well, just through the grasslands. You start heading up, and you end up going back up towards that golem. And after some time passes, you're out in the grasslands when you start to hear ooh.
Leaf.
Which one of my
Easily-
previous ones is that?
Easily, you can discern that there are wolves in the area, probably attracted by the smell of the leg you're.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Didn't really think this through, did we?
Wolves did it.
So you're moving at a rate of 60 feet. Okay, cool. You're okay for the moment. How do you want to sort of react to the knowledge that you are probably not alone? You are being pursued.
I want to keep my eyes open a lot more and stop paying attention to where they are. If I can notice them.
I'm going to just draw my massive sword and like ride like a kind of cavalryman, ready to like, if need be. Eyes open. Eyes open and yeah!
Move to the back of the convoy.
Okay, so you're sort of travelling what, in a line or?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm at least behind the wagon because that's where the
Make
meat
the
is.
question is, are you going to try and keep moving at the 60 feet speed, or are you dropping?
I'd say ideally we'd press on, wouldn't we? We wouldn't stop him unless we needed to.
How fast can Dan dash?
80. Faster than us.
Yeah.
So
And
what
could
I'll
just
say
leave
is,
us in his dust.
HK, faster than a horse and wagon.
I do have a random encounter for you, which involves wolves. But I mean, as long as you stay at the speed you've said, you're going to stay at your current travelling speed. They can't catch you. They're not as fast. So that's fine. So you make it along, and you sort of pick up that road that you were heading on before. It's sort of making its way more north now towards where you are, and you can see it. You can make your way onto it, where the terrain's a bit easier probably for moving at speed. And you do start to come up to a smaller sort of outcropping of this time more like oak trees, that sort of thing. And there's a small like a hamlet or something just next, not in the trees. Time check, probably wrap it up pretty soon, I think, Steve. You start heading up towards this hamlet. I did describe it to myself in my notes, so I will tell you what I think it looks like if I can find it. This is the interlude while the DM finds his.
Insert lift music here.
Yeah.
Dan, you can't play that music.
I know, I stopped.
Where is it?
It's just over
there
there,
we
mate. See, told you.
Told you it was there.
So basically, yeah, you've got. What's that saying? Oh, okay. The buildings here, they're all made of stone with thatch roofs. You can see it's just a handful, really, not very many at all. There's one that has sort of I don't know what the actual name for it is. Like you might see in a western, where you got the bar, they hitch horses to it.
Yeah.
It probably is called a hitch.
I think it's a hitching post.
You can see a couple of horses sort of tied to it. It looks like a pub or something. There's barrels outside. It's later on in the day. There's an obvious looking shop. It's sort of like a building with a big open front with like a table type thing set out where things would be put on it, but it's all closed up. And then, as I said, a couple of houses and this outcropping of trees. And as you sort of look at the outcropping of trees, you can see there are almost like houses built into it, and they're very intricately woven branches that have been taken and formed into platforms and walls around the main trunk, with leaves on branches making up very delicately created roofs. And yeah, you can approach where the sun is dropping low, and you sort of hear the revelry of people in this pub. Well, not revelry, but people clearly relaxing after whatever long day they've had. The distant sound of those wolves has certainly died off by now. You would have lost them about an hour ago. But there's always the danger that they might come after, during the dark hours. Because this is only a small undefended village, or hamlet, as I said. And you do have a rather large hunk of meat. So it's up to you. I mean, the only real option you've got is to go into the pub. I mean, the shop thing looks closed. You're probably looking at letting yourself into people's houses, I can't imagine. A closer inspection, there's a sort of sign above the door, and it says Eagle's Roost, which would be the name of the pub.
I will stay outside and guard the meat. Just anticipating it being gone when we come out.
Yeah.
If that's right, I need a drink. I'm going in the bloody pub.
I need some life. So I'm saying pub, a meal.
Yeah.
We need to. Who's not overly injured?
Me.
Are we all, you?
Yeah, but I'm probably still, you're probably still as healthy as me.
I was thinking we could start getting some kind of smoking or processing of this meat going while we go in there.
I could do it. Well,
Yeah,
we could probably set up like
that.
a small camp just off to the side. Start cooking.
How big are we saying this turkey leg is if the whole bird was 20 foot-ish? Give us a rough length of leg, Mike.
I'm just looking at the picture and trying to say, I reckon that's
going to be a good quarter to.
That's going to be like its leg itself must be a good 10 feet from the hip joint to the end. It must be, and then around. I mean, the girth.
Oh no, we're just saying like a turkey drumstick, just like a
wagon full.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll fit, all right. It'll fill the wagon. That amount of meat to fill the wagon.
I guess 6 foot, 8 foot, something like that.
What in leg? I said the length of the leg would probably be like 10 feet.
Yeah, but you said full leg. I just mean like a
Cut
not
off
a thigh,
the
just a
you want to
drumstick.
take a bit off the thigh or something? You can take off whatever length of it you want.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah.
You work on smoking that, HK.
Okay.
420 friendly. Oh, yeah.
So I mean, you're gonna need to probably set up a camp then. I don't think they're gonna allow you to just pull up outside of a pub and we're gonna build a smoker outside of your pub and we're gonna start cooking this meat. No, I don't think you can't just do that.
No, that's fine. We can do that, yeah.
Shall we go in the pub and tell them that we have maybe killed the bird? And they might have something we can cook the bloody thing on anyway.
I mean, that makes sense. Damn you and your common sense. Lead the way, good sir.
And it's an open door. It's like a barn-style door, but it's an open door. And you just go inside, and there is like a handful of people, maybe like 4 or 5 people. And they're a bit rowdy. They've probably been drinking for a couple of hours now. And behind the bar is a female half-orc. And she's got fairly pale green skin, She's quite stocky, and she's rather tall, but she sort of wears more feminine type human-y clothes than what you might expect a half-orc to wear. She's trying to look dainty, I suppose. She's got long black hair all tied back, and every few inches down her back, it's sort of into like little bunches, and her arms are heavily tattooed, as displayed by her dress. And she's just serving up various drinks to people. If you want to approach her, you can speak to her, and she'll eye you up and come over to you. Hello. My name is Cora. Welcome to the Eagle's Roost. How can I help you?
We all know I'm not particularly loquacious. Go ahead, someone else.
Well, first of all, maybe some beers, if you please. And then I believe there is. Is this Hawkstown?
Yes, this is it.
Excellent. Then I believe there is a standing reward for the death of the local rock.
Rock. Yes, that's correct. 1,000 gold, anyone that can kill it.
Each.
Do you know if you might be able to speak to somebody who can, fulfill that?
Yes, you're talking to her.
Ah, excellent. Well,
Sorry, I'm trying to do a bit of a feminine gruff voice, but this is.
you're very alluring. It is very nice.
We could just say it's a male that's a cross-dresser, I don't know, but.
It reminds me of some of the ladies at Oktoberfest, actually. You know. Yeah, then we have in our wagon outside the leg of the beast, and I believe you have an eye.
He just whips out this eye, holding it by like the red nerves off the back.
And as you do, people sort of looked over and then just hear a loud, "Hey, they killed it! They killed it!" And then one person, they call is, well, they might have just mortally wounded it.
It seems to steady.
And she goes, yes, a round of beers for all of you, free on the house. As much as you can drink. What a tremendous day this is.
Excellent.
Not brandy, but I will settle for yeah.
Thank you, lady. We are very grateful for the beers.
What's your name, lady?
I already told you, it's Kara.
Kara.
Stop.
Apologies, he was dropped on his head at birth.
Has taken one too many hits to the noggin. Listen, that bird did a number on me, but the ale is well appreciated. Could we perchance get a meal as well?
I don't have a lot. I can do a meat board, or I've got fried vegetables.
As look,
Good enough for me.
We have brought plenty of rock for roasting, if you wish to partake of some of that.
I'll buy it off of you. How much you got?
About a cart full.
Christ.
Apparently, chat estimates it to be around 70 kilograms.
Yeah,
Well,
we probably go with that.
we'll go with that. We've got around 70 kilograms. Why is it? I'm doing her voice now. That much.
You do every voice, mate.
I just get influenced from so many areas. I just get
You're
lost.
just a mimic.
Yeah, I might as well be, what are they called? Not aracockers, them fucking, what are them horrible birds that just mimic in D&D?
Oh,
Them bloody things.
I just had a thought that, have you ever watched Benidorm? That series, that comedy
God.
film?
Yeah.
I've just thought that this half-orc woman, who's like, he's a bloke during the day and he's a woman during the night.
Right.
Oh, that's what it says, no, cross-dressing. I think that's probably what's going on here. Because this woman's voice is coming through.
Kenku is what I was thinking of. I was thinking of Babs Cabs from Lee Gentleman as well.
Yeah.
I remember your Kenku character from another campaign. God, I wanted to. I think.
Yes, he was horrifically annoying.
Anyway,
Back to it.
Sorry.
back to the topic at hand.
May I have a meal?
Actually, yes. Well, it's 1,000 gold for the reward. I don't have it here right this second, but I can get it for you.
Thank you.
1,000 gold each. Don't forget.
No, it's just 1,000.
Can I try and convince her that that's what was on the poster?
No, because she knows what's on the poster.
It was worth a try, you know.
There's a good chance that she put the reward out, so.
Fair.
If she's paying it, she'll know what was on there or not.
This is fair.
And I will give you an additional, I don't know, 70 kilos of meat, probably 100 gold. How's that sound?
For 70 kilograms of meat, 100.
I'm making it off the top of my head. All right.
Sounds
I
pretty
mean,
good.
you wouldn't get that much at Lidl's.
I don't know what Lidl's is.
It's down at the dwarvish town down the road.
Well, I've never heard of it.
Because they're all
How
similar.
does you double that gold figure and we're happy?
And you're also getting a lot of free beer now, so I mean, it's not all that bad, is it?
All right, all
Come
right,
on,
all right.
guys, come on.
It's not.
He bows to her.
And she sort of gestures maybe to a couple of the people in the pub, and the pub sort of empties, and you could hear industrial sounds outside. People are obviously hacking away at the meat, and you start seeing them bringing hunks of it in and taking it through the back. Someone add funds to shit. Oh yeah, someone add funds to shit. That's got it.
I'll head in.
Those messages are supposed to be so we don't interrupt stuff.
Hey,
Nothing.
Exactly what I was thinking.
you've lost the train of thought now. What are you on about?
I'm saying those messages that come up to the side are supposed to be so we like keep rolling and don't interrupt the stuff.
Okay.
God damn you.
Don't read out this message. Oh shit.
Yeah. Maybe just text it in Messenger to someone else other than me. It's a bit like Anchorman, isn't it? Like, you put it in front of me, I will read it.
If it's on the prompter, it's going. I'm Rob Burgundy.
Anyway, so where do we get to? Yeah, they're taking the meat in the back. And I mean, if you guys want to take your rest here, I think 11 o'clock's our usual place to sign off, unless you guys want to carry on for a bit, it's up to you. But 11 o'clock's usually that sort of...
It seems like a reasonable place to stop where we've made our money, we've got a place where we could, with a bit of conversation, get a bed for the night, that kind of thing, and rest up.
The pub does have rooms, and probably much to your light, individual rooms if you want them, opposed to the room that you were offered at the previous establishment, where you are not going to be witnessing acts of a certain nature.
Oh god, yes.
So yeah, we'll call it's 11 o'clock, so we'll leave it there. You are in the pub. Rooms, I would say, unfortunately can't rent those out to you for free in case there are other travellers on the road. So I think what did I set the rooms at for this place? Oh, they're quite cheap actually. You could take a room here at 10 gold each for the night. They're quite cheap. They're pretty basic. You know, it's just a barrack sort of room really with a straw bed in it.
It'll do, it's a rest.
It's not luxurious travel, but it's somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
And in the room, I made a note here, the room sleeps too, so you can double up if you want to.
That being the case,
If you want to make a note of your monetary exchanges somewhere, and we will leave it there, ready to see what the new day brings for you, having
so
killed
we
the
got-
burger.
a quick thank you. We just shouted him out, Steve Cobbs up top, Steve Cobbs 100 often streams. Thank you to Mr. DM over that way. There's Captain Gingerbeard, Captain Dunface in your top right, and we've got Ben down in the bottom right. So thank you all for playing. Thank you all for tuning in. Check out the socials over at Discord. There's a shout out and there's a panel down below. We'll be back streaming on Thursday, but the next session of this D&D Fall of Vaybaba campaign will be 2 weeks today, around the 8:30 mark, as usual. It's all
And of course,
stream
don't forget, we do have the Facebook page if you'd like to come and follow us. I think it says Vaybaba D&D if you search that on Facebook.
We do. I'll drop a link to that in the channel later on tonight because I forgot. And we will also link the YouTube channel where this will be uploaded probably tomorrow midday.
If you send me that, send me the video in the right format this time.
It's auto correct now.
I think it's going to be raining tomorrow, so I'm not going to be out working. So yeah, send it to me and I'll get it done tomorrow.
So, thank you all, and good night.
Goodbye.